Hey there, I'm Radical Dreamer, and this is a preview of The Outcast, Episode 9. The Outcast is a podcast done by myself and two other Japanese-speaking gamers living here, in Japan. In this edition, we make our predictions about TGS 2010. As a sample, I've included our thoughts on Square Enix's 2010 lineup. So, if you enjoy what you hear in this sample, please go to theoutcastpodcast.blogspot.com and download the full episode, or just click the link in the information box below. Peace out.
Probably one of my most anticipated games going into TGS right now is The Third Birthday.
Guaranteed.
I disagree. I think it's one of my most anticipated games.
Wrong. One of mine.
God damn it.
Yeah, Parasite Eve 2, that came out like 99.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's been over 10 years of no new content, and here we go. I mean, with every new news release and every new screenshot, the game just keeps looking better and better.
Yeah, again, just like we said the very first time we saw anything gameplay-wise about it, it's clearly the Crisis Core engine.
Well, it's the Crisis Core engine.
It's been beefed up considerably.
It's the same director behind Crisis Core as well. The exact same guys.
The more I see of it, though, the more I look at it, it's obvious how much they've improved the engine.
Yeah, I like this auto-lock mechanic. That's really nice.
Yeah. Well, obviously, deteriorating genes, absolutely brilliant. I think that should be more games from now on.
Have fun with that.
I think that should be. Can you imagine if they put that into Gears of War 3? How awesome would that be?
They're probably going to with Aya's, Anya.
As opposed to Aya, yes. But no, Parasite Eve 3, The Third Birthday. I'm sure we'll all play it.
Oh, it's guaranteed playable. I mean, it's supposed to come out before the end of the year, before Christmas, so.
Oh, yeah. Damn, I have to save.
Save? Dude, what are you talking about? No. Save. For this game, over 10 years, no Parasite Eve. Dude, here's what you do. Don't go to your fourth Macross concert of the week. Say, I'm not going to go.
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that, Carl. Because,
all right.
But two Parasite Eve things I want to talk about before we move on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let me reduct that. All right, keep going.
Wrong
one.
That's why I reducted it.
The director and producer of the game both said, hey, if this is a success and people like this and we sell enough copies, we're going to put something on PS3. So people, let's get behind here. Let's start an Outcast, movement of get people sign up. Hey, I'm sure all three of us are going to buy it day one, and so tell your friends if you want to see Parasite Eve
right
in 1080p or Parasite Eve 4 or whatever. Let's get on board. And this is just a couple of news as of a day or so ago. One of my big worries is that we have to call it The Third Birthday. Is because Square no longer owns the naming rights of Parasite Eve to this franchise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, they had the director of Third Birthday on interview on One Up about a day or so ago, and he said, well, they asked him, do you have any other promotions coming up for this game within the release window? And he said, yeah, we'd like to put the original titles on PSN. I know we no longer own the licensing rights, and obviously some work has to be done with regards to that. But we could it's very, very possible we could put these up. So
that would be great.
That would be awesome.
It seems that lots hanging on the success of this title. So to all two of our listeners out there, Mum, Dad, please buy the game.
No, that's one of those things. I love that it got enough hype that it changed from a cell phone game to a PSP game.
And could possibly go to a PS3 game.
And possibly that. It's all based on, first hype, second, how much we buy. And of course, speaking of mysterious games appearing on the PSP, we have Final Fantasy Agito 13. Will we see anything of this game?
Doubtful. I'm going to say no.
You think it's vaporware? Or just not this
I think it's vaporware. Gwen, what do you think?
I think the PSP is going to be used for the cutscenes, and it's going to come with a packet of paper cards to play.
Or do you think maybe that this is going to be a PSP 2 game? That since it's been
very well could
out
be.
of the limelight for so long, that maybe maybe the reason it's been no screenshots is because they're grooming it for a launch window game.
Its absence from the public eye does seem very odd, especially when you consider how the PSP's been going from strength to strength over here.
Yeah, by the way, when is the last time we got a trailer? We didn't get one last year. Was it?
The game was announced in
18 months, right?
The game was announced E3 2006, so it's been over 4 years since this game.
Yeah, no, but when was the last time we saw anything about it?
God, I don't even remember.
Because I know we didn't see it last year. I know for a fact there was nothing. TGS last year. So was it really TGS the year before, the last time we've heard anything?
I mean, it's gotten at least half a page in Square's booklet every year, even last year.
I think Square realized with this whole Final Fantasy XIII world thing that very quickly that they bit off way more than they could chew with making 2 full-featured HD titles at the same time.
And this is the thing. I don't think they were overambitious about this model of like, yeah, let's make 3 big title games at once. I think that it was incredibly foolish of them to think doing the jump from PS2 to PS3 during this window was the right time to do this strategy. What they should have done is gotten 13 out and then had, for the sake of numbering, say 3 different kinds of 14 out there.
I don't want 3 different types of online games. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't touch any of them.
Like I said, for numbers' sake, before 14 was announced, like that's out, and then big 15 online, of course. Whatever. Okay. But that's what I think. I think they just ended up doing. It's a good business strategy. The problem,
obviously, if you're going to make that big multi-million-dollar graphics engine, you want to use it as many games as you can.
So
right.
Do we think we'll see anything from Agito? I mean, since no one's heard of it.
I mean, we've seen new screenshots of Versus, and they won't even guarantee that it's coming out next year.
All right. I'll call it. I'll make the prediction. We're going to find out it's a launch title for the PSP too. I'll say it.
Ooh,
dude, I said it already. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I'm saying it. I'm saying that.
Dude, I said it.
No. You put it out there as an idea. I'm sticking behind it.
Dude.
I'm going
listeners can judge for themselves. I said that.
Girls, get a room. Look, while we're talking about Square products, let's lump this in with Versus, because Kyle, you already mentioned it.
It'll be playable.
It'll be playable?
Yep. Playable. I say 1 crappy dungeon playable.
And it's do we know what the gameplay is exactly like yet? It's an 8-bit beat 'em up, right?
Okay, this is the thing.
Kingdom Hearts.
People love to throw out misinformation on Versus 13 based on interviews from 5 years.
It's obvious to see where they could get information because there's no information about this game.
Right, exactly. So people just like to make stuff up about 13 or Versus 13. But let me put it frankly. This is the facts. Way back in the day, he said it would be a kind of an RPG adventure like Kingdom Hearts, which makes sense since the entire team that made Kingdom Hearts 2 is making Versus 13. That's all there is to it. So it's pretty obvious what kind of game it'll play like. But yeah, that's about it.
They've not announced any hard facts, so we're just totally going off speculation.
Well, I mean, people who make a game that's one way usually end up making another game like that. I mean, that's why you transfer teams.
You really think it's going to be playable? I mean, we don't even have a trailer to look at for this game.
Yeah, that seems to be a pretty big call.
Nope, I think it's playable.
But Square just does it so long. But there was a trailer
remember,
a long time ago.
They did have gameplay footage of it at Jump Fiesta last year.
Yeah.
It was in a closed theater, so there's no trailers of it. But in their closed theater,
I hated how Square does that.
They do that TGS too, that big theater.
Yeah. So that's why I think this time they've had all those months to go from a little gameplay, like whatever gameplay demo they showed in that theater, to probably the exact same demo refined to be on the floor.
Okay, the first playable build of Final Fantasy XIII was with the Advent Children Blu-ray, right?
No, there was one before that, but it was again a behind closed doors one.
Oh. So if it is playable at this TGS, I guess it might be conceivable for next year, but they're not making any guarantee.
Oh no! Even then, I don't think it'll be like next year or anything like that. I think
how is this screw the Final Fantasy franchise in this generation? Where they laid all their cards on the table the second we went to the HD generation, and they still can't keep good on the promises. Technically we're 5 years into the console generation, going up to 360. By 5 years into PS2 generation, we had Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2, Final Fantasy XI, and Final Fantasy XII. We only still have one game out here because they're still trying to catch up on what they originally unveiled.
Well, like you said, it's all about the idea that they've switched over to the PS3 and they were not ready. They had all their PS2 programmers, but none of them knew how to code for the PS3 or, have the clear definition and graphical pristine that comes with the PS3. And they've basically had to do on-the-job training, and probably they've turned out quite a few beta versions of the games, which have just not been up to snuff.